All right, people, I'm going to be starting this live stream early. Now, the reason why I start the live stream early, and again, I'll be sending direct links to this YouTube channel eventually. It'll be done a new way. But one thing you want to know is you want to come to these live streams when I do them. I usually do the live streams on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Canada. That's what the EST stands for, and that gives you the reminder in time. It's all on the banner. I mean, isn't that fantastic? So today we're going to have a great market update. I'm going to wait for people to come in, but that's what I do. From now on, it's going to be a direct link to the YouTube channel because it's going to be I won't be able to do it the classic way anymore. Um, so I'll be posting this. You'll still be able to see it, but it'll be very. You will have to go directly to. It's probably better directly to the YouTube channel. I didn't think about that, but I'm going to probably do it that way. Anyways, people, as you can see, live stream at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Canada, on Wednesday. All information on the banner. Study the created playlist. Look to get YouTube. Twitter. Very important. Go to the Twitter. It explains how to become a member, and there's Instagram. All right. Hello, 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 people. So I'm going to talk about the market. Market's been difficult to gain, but it's nothing new. Uh, it's part of dealing with the market. And I'm going to explain that in the live stream. Everybody hear me good? Hello, Ahmed. Everybody hear me good? Vula Kula. Very good. Okay. So the live stream. Anyway, so let me put up the charts then. Um, so we're going to start with this. We're going to talk about the SPY. We're going to wait for some more people to come in. Hello, Mazalo. You know what took what the why is the market going down? Well, it's not going down based on fundamentals, right? It's been going down based on fear of an unknown, right? Which is which is the virus, right? And the coronavirus has an unknown, but the the reality is that it's more of an excuse to to instill fear. And again, markets do drop for the wrong reasons. This is not a wrong reason because it's an unknown fact. How much is it going to impact this? How much is it going to impact that? And so, to be honest, and then of course the market needed this pullback. Now, that being said, the interesting thing is I talked about reversal pivots in the SPY. So there's a lot of things going on the charts that we can take a look at. Now, when you compare a negative time, I talked about negative, difficult times, and this was difficult over here. A lot of signals, a lot of reversal signals, and a lot of people thought back then, when the market was falling in 2018, that I was nuts calling for SPY 300. Well, as you can see, people. So I go by. I'm gonna be talking about Jim. What's that name of that guy again? Yeah, Jim Simons. Jim Simons. Jim Simons. We're gonna talk about Jim Simons, and why people don't succeed in the markets long term. Because all they want to see is the good times, and so when the market is good, they are stuck in the fear, and so they don't hold things properly. They don't go in plans when they're supposed to. They're all over the place because the market does that to you, right? Instead, my method is following rules, waiting for confirmation, and taking action. And not everything's going to work out, and that's okay. So, what's my message? When you make money for the right reasons or with skill, even when things don't work out, that's okay. But when you make money for the wrong reasons without skill, they will always backfire you in the long run. You will always lose your money. You will not make crazy gains like I've made. And I'm gonna be talking about that gym guy as an example here of, we talk about very intelligent money in the market, that the help that I'm giving in the market, it costs an arm and a leg, and it's kept hush hush. The smart don't want to keep the money to themselves, or only want to work with the smart, as they know the majority are dum dums out there. This is the reality of it, right? What I do is try to help give a chance for people to succeed, and do that with options, and do that with real companies, instead of penny stocks which are irrelevant to real market direction. So there is no skill. Uh, there is skill to it, but the effort and the way they make money is through not a metric that the true rich make money in. You understand what I'm saying? So real direction is where it's at for the long term success. That's my A lot of people who do the short term stuff with the wrong, they all burn out. Trust me on this. All right. So when we look at the SPY people, we had a much more negative time in 2018. And I did say the market was going to go higher. Well, when you look at the facts here, where the 200 moving low is, and the history, we've had very negative times. But it's not just that this is happening, right? When this happens, you need stocks to say that a reversal is on its way. And so the market can start weak tomorrow, but can come back up tomorrow based on, we look at stocks like Apple. And today we had a reversal in Apple, and Apple moved very powerfully. That shows that market, and look where Apple is, still near, in the 300 zone. A lot of people thought that, well, 200 would never happen. Well, not only did we go to 200, I'll put up Apple. Let's talk about Apple. I'll come back to the SPY. Now, also people, not to mention how many winning option plans that I have on my YouTube channel. It's insane. No one, even the gym guy can't do what I do. They cannot do what I do. What they do have the advantages. They have large sums of money, and they are very intelligent how they make money. And it's also a secluded group, by the way, that gym guy that I'm talking about. Let me go to the name again. But it was an interesting story, and the funny thing is when I seen about this guy's story, you never hear about this guy much. You hear more people hear about Warren Buffett, but however, this guy supposedly is a more successful investor, but he does it more in trading, more a short-term trading. He's not like an investor. He does investing, but a lot of short-term trading as well. And he did a lot of changes in quantitative thinking of how to do things. Very, very interesting. But what does Jim Simons, and he's a very obviously very very well strong, powerful billionaire. But when I heard his story, it kind of reminds me a lot of what I'm doing. Except what I'm doing is helping a lot of people that are what I say the smart, the few smart, and then via the gift strategy where I only take in people that are serious for success. I mean, he booted out a lot of people and kept a secluded group. Why is that? Because the amount of money that he wants for you to stay in his group is 50% of total gains, and he doesn't want baby gains. Let's say you're making $50 million. He's gonna want half of that. 25. He wants to be paid the dollar bills for skills. He doesn't want to pay no baby money. And the same thing with the group here that I have. It's free. People to come in who's serious for success to study. They want to make money with skill. They don't want to be baby scalpers. They don't want to be dummies investors. They don't want to be burned out. They want to make money with billionaire mindset. And that's me, PowerTarget Trade, giving an opportunity of a lifetime for people right on my YouTube channel. It's right on my YouTube channel, the proof of the option plans year after year after year after year. I come to, well, it's whether the market's difficult or not, I'm here. Look at Apple's swing today. We opened up at, um, at at 286 confirmed and hit a high of 297. It's an 11-point swing, right? There was money to be made on the bounce I was talking about on the 50% retracement. And the stock closed up very well considering the negativity of the market, where the SPY today, people, as you've seen, has never swung like this in a long time. Where we open up at 314, we go lower, we hit a high of 318, right, and then we swing back down to close lower. However, they close at 311. They close the game at that 50% retracement. There's a lot of zones even here. So even where this is, there's a lot to do there. A lot of reversals can happen over here, as we are now oversold, and we haven't been oversold like this in the longest time. That being said, stocks like Tesla and Apple remain very strong and have made significant gains in the market. This is not a market of negativity. The only reason why we've had a SPY pullback is due to the fear caught on enough that the virus pulled the market down like this. But again, this is very bullish when you look at the trend of the market, right? If I zoom out, the market is very, very strong uptrend. And so I don't see the market going much lower than this 300 area. And that's still way above 300 that I was talking about, by the way. Already smashing and destroying a lot of people right there from the statements right over there. And don't forget, I talked about SPY 300. We hit SPY 340. And I talked about SPY 300 all the way back over here in 2018 in massive, massive fear. See, I don't hide and run like the others. I have plans and I solve problems. Now, are we going to have losses and problems along the way? Yes, we do. But are we going to catch massive gains? Of course. That's why I have so many back-to-back wins in Apple. Even today was a win in Apple. Back to back to back. So many. The wins outnumber the losses and the wins are massive, especially Tesla, by the way. That being said, problems are going to occur. In other words, here's my message. Even when you do the right thing, listen very carefully here. Even when you do the right thing in the markets, you have to understand that if you did the right thing and you still lost, that's okay. You have to know between what is wrong and what is right. And everything I do is based on that. What is right and what is... So when something goes against me and it was okay, I understand that. When something goes against me and it didn't follow rules, that's another, and I do take that as a measurement. Understanding that and then avoiding those type of stocks only increase your odds. Not trying to make money in stocks that don't follow rules or did something they shouldn't do based on rules. And that's where skill and rules are so important. That's why the rich make all the money in the market, and the poor are the people who cry and complain and say the market's too high, like the stock clown, that don't know nothing about real market direction, that have been wrong year after year, unlike me. I want to be right the real direction. That's how I can help people make money with skill, and we'll do this decade after decade after decade. You're not going to do that without real skill, people. And dealing with difficult situations. The market, we are in a new... We never had to deal with so many different things. It was just mostly about earnings and other things. But this market had to deal with so many difficult things. Is there going to be a war? Is there not going to be a war? Is the thing going to throw is there going to throw a missile? Is Korea going to... We had all these issues and problems to deal with, and we came out on top. But the market did tell us that it could come out on top as well. In fact, if we go back to the SPY, people, I mean, that's why we were dropping due to fear, about Trump and this and that. But the market didn't support that based on what I was looking at, the big picture. I was able to identify and realize market's going to go higher. And I had a plan, BA. And I solve problems, people. That's who makes money. People who can do stuff like this. All these traders out there are babies. They don't have any skills. All of them. All of these services, baby. Asked to see how what they were saying here. You know, option sniper, big mouth, woo, 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 and he ran for the hills. He couldn't handle these markets. PowerTarget Trade, I handle the markets. Making the money with skills. You want to study my YouTube channel, people, if you're new. You want to listen to what I'm saying, people. Anyways, I got to be very calm this live stream. Talk about the facts. So let me go to to see if there's any questions here. I've been talking a lot, loud and clear. Okay, yeah. So everybody paying attention. And again, the live streams are going to have, I guess, it's going to be a direct link from to me. Probably could be better. It'll be the YouTube channel. The only way it will get to me is it'll be I'll be posting my I guess instead of the live stream link, it'll be the actual YouTube channel because YouTube is going to phase out the classic Studio Creator. I have to work with a different program. I don't know how that's going to work. Whether I'm going to be able to do thumbnails now, I don't know. It's something I got to figure out. Yeah. So the drop in this market really had to do with the overreaction to an unknown fact, which is the coronavirus. You know, in the United States, people have, they die of a common cold. Like we're talking about, 50,000. Like lots of people die of a common cold. And the way I look at this coronavirus, it's like if you're a weak person and your immune system, most people's immune system isn't very strong and easily can get a cold. And then they haven't even talked about how do people who were affected come out of the virus part of it, right? So those stats they don't know, and so the market has all this fear. But it has nothing to do with companies' earnings. I mean, Apple's earnings are okay. All companies are very strong and doing well, and that's what we look at, the key facts. You know, fear is always going to be plagued in the market. People said the SPY was too high. The stock con said the SPY was too high at 225, that it was a bubble. Well, look where the SPY went. Old world thinkers, no skill thinkers. I never said these things. You go back on my live streams and see what I was saying back in fear in 2018. See, when I speak, I can speak with power because I am power. Power trigger trade. We make money with skills. I have so much documented videos that show the process, the thinking through the difficult times in the markets and always coming out on top. But if you're not always at this, people, you won't make it. Not with options, right? Unless you're a long-term investor making a lot and you're able to take massive, massive swings in your account. With options, you have to be at it. You have to go through the sun and the rain. You have to go through the phases, but you want to be taking the signals when the signals come, and you want to keep trying to make money with skill in all times because the market can be very good. In fact, after in another couple of days, markets can be jumping up beautifully, and it's very very likely by a lot of measurements I'm looking, and the right stocks though. I mean, look at AMD. Another interesting thing, AMD. I remember, this is just a spike. It closed at 47. Imagine, here's a stock. Look at this strong trend. Because this company is making money, doing well, taking money from, back I remember when this was around, back in 2018, I called for a reversal. Stock Clown never called for an AMD. Like, I'm visionary. I talked about AMD $50 a share, and if you see me doing that now, look at where it's went. It's hit a high of 59.60. I'm visionary. I see the big picture. I take signals. I make plans. This is a skill very few people in the world have. And this is why when I say top 1%, very few people will really make money. People are really too dumb and short-minded, sighted, and listen to the news and never learn from history. Never learn from the right people. They continuously want to listen to the wrong people with no skills. That being said, yes. Well, MA is a stock that it was really following the rules. And well, again, it's a stock where I don't, I'm not going to bother with anymore, only because it gave false signals, and then it also pulls. It didn't follow rules on pullbacks like it should have, and so that's going to happen. And I call those. That's all part of, what I realize is I call MA a strike, meaning that, I mean, it did make us some money, but this is more of a problem stock and not good for options the way I trade with my rules. And so for me, stock like MA, no matter, even if it goes on my, I will strike it out because there are better stocks than MA. I was impressed with how strong MA was, but what it did was, I call it a strike. So it's a stock total void. I will not be, I won't be won't be going into options in this, right? This can happen when you do all the right things, but understanding that something is wrong with a particular company, a stock, or what it did based on rules, and understanding that it's no good, and not bothering with it and trying to make money in this. I have way better stocks to make money in. First of all, Tesla is a way better company to pay attention to, and it's going to be a very good company for a very long time. However, it's not an easy stock. You have to do the right timings. We're gonna have, like, if I have a loss in Tesla, it's not because it's not following the rules. It's due to other issues, right? There's different stories. But something like MA, it's given me trouble before, but I honestly thought, I was so impressed with MA, how it was holding, and how it did hold up. But what it did, um, compared to other stocks, like you look at AMD, barely, its pullback was no big deal, and can recover. This is one of those stocks that are just, I strike it off the list, no more, and focus only again. And I will bring in new stocks, but when I see any stock that doesn't fall, and that's another advantage that I have over a lot of people, is that I understand what's right from wrong and make adjustments. That's what Jim that's what Jim did a lot of. He did a lot of adjustments, over the years, in making money. Adjustments, and that's what the top do. The others don't. They don't know how to make adjustments and don't know what's right from wrong or anything. They have no skill. That's the majority out there. No skill. No real skill. Nothing like what I'm doing. Not billionaire mindset, and not what the top people do. Okay? The advice I'm giving, you're not going to get this advice. The advice, it would be you wouldn't, most people do not have the money to get this advice. So I did something very unique. I said, you know what? I'm a helping people that have never chance to get the highest end advice, and then they'll make money and send gifts being happy, and the kind of money that they'll be sending is due to making money they would never have made ever on their own, never long term, never break the cycle of no skill. All right then. Oh, Atish, where are you from, Atish? This is very important. Atish, where are you from, my friend? Atish Jaswell. This is, you from India? Interesting thing about the Indian people, people. I'm going to say something. If this guy is, he says happy good morning. It's nighttime for me. Atish, are you from India? So here's an interesting thing, people. When I did the video for the Tesla, the great gains we made in holding properly, I happened to put a target of India, and honestly, the Indian people are very interested in the market. But the problem is that probably when the market trades, it's time for them to go to sleep. But they had a lot of interest, in my video, and that's why there was, I think Jeff Bezos said that India is going to become is going to be a very powerful growing country. he might be from. I think he is. I don't know why he doesn't speak. Maybe he doesn't understand the English language. But he said happy good morning. Yeah, I think so. As I said, the Indian people have a tremendous interest in the market, but they do not have the skills. And I, PowerTarget Trade, have the skills. So you Indian people, you tell, study my YouTube channel, PowerTarget Trade. You gotta look, listen, you gotta understand about options, right? I don't know. Problem is I know, I think they trade in, if they're to trade, they trade at night. But some of those, but anyways, there was a lot of interest from the Indian people. I can assure you. I know this from the reports of Amazon. So, but Atish doesn't want to. But when I seen this happy good morning, I'm telling you, and interesting. But he happened to figure out, yeah. No, Tesla is hard to say. Tesla. So we'll put up Tesla. No, no, Tesla, you know, is can be very quickly to drop and rise. Okay. Now Tesla's also coming into a lot of key support and can reverse it. Did give reversal signals. Now, one thing about Tesla today for me is that I went a little bit. It wasn't perfect. I went a little bit because it looked so good. How it was reversing, but it didn't really hit one of my top rules. And so I looked at. I know that this Tesla can very quickly reverse, and so uh, it's an unknown for me. But I'm going by Apple here as a guidance, and the market is being overstretched that Tesla will reverse, and of course be okay with the options that we went into. But other than that, we've killed this. We've killed it in Tesla. So my Tesla entry wasn't 100%, but the market did give some crazy signals today, and so understanding right from wrong is key for long-term success. Right? There is no success all the time, but the majority of the time. That is what's important. That's my message here. Well, yeah, the rule was that we wanted it to break above 819. Now, that's one thing it didn't do. And so when I saw, uh, honestly, this patterning in it, I mean, listen, I'm surprised, but it is what it is. I'm very surprised, but it was one thing that wasn't perfect in my rule. So, but I'm still not worried about it too much. But this is what's going to happen when you're trying to do the right things. And I didn't do it. There was a lot of right in what I did, but it wasn't 100% perfect, right? So it wasn't 100% perfect. So that's that for that. So BA was a superstar, but still, being at $300 a share, when you zoom out of here, very strong trend, and it took a lot for this to go down. A lot of bad news, but a lot of people were giving me flack back in 2017, saying that it was too high, that it was too high at 200, and I mean, look where this went. I mean, we hit a high of again, most people have no skill. On my YouTube channel, you'll see me documented. I had the reversal plan in 2018. I used BA to make money from here all the way over here. This whole run, we caught 5 winning huge plans in a row. Skill, people. Skill. Luck runs out. Skill doesn't, right? But even with the best skill, you're gonna still have problems along the way sometimes. It's understanding that. All right. That being said, that's right. It didn't hit the 819, and so that is the only mistake that I made, because That was a key number. But it looked so good that I looked for another entry point, and it did give it to us, but it didn't do it for very long. But anyways, regardless of that, it did give some. There were some positive signals, and I do think that Tesla will do enough for us with the ones we got in. But what I'm saying is that I look at all things that I do when something doesn't work out, and like I said, as a human, when I figured out that rule number, there was a lot of relevance to that number. But then when I saw the way the market had come back and pulled back, and even the way Tesla showed the power and grinded back and had patterns, I looked for something else, and it was valid as well. But the better value was the the 819 value. But regardless, that's how serious I take this. I look at a lot of things, people. If something fails, did it fail for a lot of stuff? And that's why we win long term. It's very hard. Like like Jim did a lot of thinking and researching and trying new things and hiring the right kind of people to solve problems, and made money a very different way than Warren Buffett. But is one of the greatest investors based on how he made money over a lot of other investors that you don't hear, because he's a lot of hush hush, and a lot of things he does is hush hush. It's out of the public eye. And I knew this. I have talked about this type of society, and it was admitted from him, right? I mean, but the guy's now retired now and doesn't care as much. He has people running the show for him. But when I listen to his story and how he thought and changed and adapted, it's very similar, except what I'm doing is much more advanced. Much more advanced. Yeah, again, a lot of this is overreaction, but like I said, there's a high odds. There's a lot of, based on Fibonacci, based on chart data, that the market most likely is going to give a proper pullback, and the right stocks that we're in will give us some gains. You know, that being Apple was impressively strong, right? And that means a lot. That's what makes the market hard, because you have a stock like Apple, which is a very key indicator. Apple gave reasons. Apple's a very good warning stock. This stock is a very good stock, and remains to be. I think Tesla's a much better stock, but it's a very good stock still, as a key relevance for the higher market. Now, by the way, all the SPY is done now because of this pullback. Is set itself for that test of 350 to 360. Towards the end of the year or sometime this year. That's what I project from the market. So the key is, where do you make money? Well, we will make money in the right stocks. And the market's very strong, people. I mean, just look at this. This was much more fearful back in 2018. The market's very strong. I mean, you look at the trend, right? Now, I haven't had any water for a bit. That's the problem. Yep. Yeah, I know. But see, here's the thing about futures. They can be down and they can change. You have to see. We have to see what happens tomorrow. But regardless, if we do open up weak, we can go strong. That's what I think is going to happen. It's just, it's reaction to it's a reaction to an unknown problem, right? And it has nothing to do with our stocks. However, the reversals I saw today are a good sign. We're going to get that. We will be fine in what we're in, right? We're not in very many things. But this is what happened. And the key now is to make money and solve problems because the market won't make it clear how things are going to go up. We can go up very choppy, and some things will go up very well. It's going to be, you got to use a lot of skills to make money, people. That's right, Mohammed. So let's take a look at the SPY here. Yeah, so SPY being at 309 is no big deal, right? We can open up there. We can open up at 310 and then and then come back and rebound. It's not down that much, um, according to the pivots. Um, and again, we are extremely oversold, and there's a ton of key support. And what's driven us to this level is an unknown factor. That's it. As soon as there's some stability in that factor, I mean, we're going to be making money with skills easily. And that can happen at any time. Market can make comebacks and things can go very well and it won't be very clear. So what you do is you can start with smaller positions, right? And as those do well, then you start increasing positions again, right? But right now, we're not in a lot of positions. We don't go in unless things confirm, right? Markets pull back. We will see what happens and we'll make adjustments. That is the facts. So I mean that's where the SPY closed, anyways. Now SPY could be lower, but the SPY changes between now and overnight. I mean the SPY changes a lot. Like I've been through this a lot. This is no big deal. What's going on? Um, we will solve the problems and make the dollar bills with skills. But I mean, we got the rain a little early, and it was due to not due to earnings, people. An unknown virus that happened to come up that caused a problem. This is the market for you. We're in more difficult times, much more to contend with, and so that's why skills so much more important to understand between false and real. You understand, people? That's a big difference. It's got nothing to do with Trump. Um, well, the market being up is due to, you know, the market liking what Trump does. It's just a clear fact, right? So, but the market is going up due to fundamental basis based on companies doing well, like Apple and Tesla. Companies doing well, uh, and having great growth. That's what's going on. Amazon, great growth. Doing well. This is why Google, this is why we have a higher market. This is why we make money with skill. This is why we've done so well. In all times, whether it's good or bad, we always make comebacks to people who are serious for success. That's I am not worried one bit. What I am worried about is missing the gains with skill. No, you don't need straddles. We don't need straddles. Because this is said, this market conditions change. I never use straddles to win the market. Simply, all I did is neither buy calls or puts, and we killed it. I got the documentation over there. Straddles are people who don't know that's guessing. We don't need to straddle. You can make money going long the right stocks at the right time. We're in an upward trending market. This is not a bearish market. You have to understand this. This is an uptrend. It's an uptrend market, okay? Yeah, you can see this is a very strong uptrend, right? And the pullback that we had in the SPY is still, we're above this 200. And never mind this 200 alone. There's all these there's all these pivots, Fibonacci pivots that coincide with these numbers that I talk about: 311, 310 and a half, 310, and then 306, 305 area, and it happens to be here. So there's so many reasons the market can come back due to the overreaction. And again, that's all this is. It's got nothing to do with anything else. Anybody calling for the market to go lower has no skill, because it's like the stock clowns. They keep calling for lower, lower, but they've been calling for lower since SPY 225. So they're clueless people. This has nothing to do with technicals. Has to do with fear, and then it's gonna translate to stocks. Yeah. Well, you know what? We don't need to know that. I just know that the SPY is gonna go. Obviously we're gonna go for that gap now, right? Once we figure out our low here, then we're going to be rising there. Now, how we get there, this is an unknown fact, right? It could be a bit choppy, you know. And again, the right stocks are going to do well still in this environment. Once this news is unknown, these are just these are just unknown factors, and they were worrying about Trump. It was the same issues, And the market kept going. What does the market do? Well, look at the gains. Tesla went up. You see where Tesla? How? Let's think about this, people. Like, people, you can't look at the news. The news isn't going to help you. Okay. In October of 2018, Tesla was at $257. Before, in December of in December, or let's say right here in January of 2020, the stock was 339, and we hit a high of 968. So this is, and this is a very short period of time, right? You got to realize this is only 2 months. So because of if the people thought the market's too high, no way Tesla's going to make a move like that. You don't want to go by, you got to go by what the market's saying. You got to take the new information on a daily basis. No one can project the future, right? All I did was go with the flow, and we killed it. You understand? It's adaptive thinking. It's the only way to go in a new world, in a new era. Adaptive thinking. Amit, a guy like Amit, right? Oh, we're not married to the stock, Amit. You show me, you show me 7 huge wins in Tesla. You just took you know what? This Amit guy's a clown, because he just took a lucky guess. That's all. No skill you have. You're not going to make it long term in the market. Remember my warning to you, Amit. Remember my warning to you about this. You're a flat. Listen, I'm 28 years in the market. If you're some guy with 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years experience, you have no skill. You're nothing. If you tell me about Mara, I'm not Mara. This is a stock that's going much higher. This is a growth company, right? And so that's all I'm going to say about that. And not only that, it it follows my rules perfectly. And I have so many documented wins in Tesla. It's not funny. You've been watching and in awe, and you probably shorted Tesla many times and lost money. But you don't talk about that, do you, stock clown? All right, now. Okay, anyways. Yeah, whatever. Amit, I'm here to help people. So not to argue. You like I said, you don't have any skill. How many years experience do you have, Amit? And I mean real experience. And you know, in the market, right? I know. That's what I'm trying to say, Volka. Okay, so 5 years you have no experience. Okay, you have no experience in the market. You don't you being a spectator in the market. You've probably done. You haven't cut. If you cut as many wins as we have on my, you study my YouTube channel. You know, before you talk, I want you to study all those winning. I have so many. There's so much hundreds of hours of proof of what I do. I smash I smash billionaires to pieces of what I do. Okay, they can't do it quantifiable like this, right? You just don't hear about those people, but I actually doing something very unique. And so the little trader like you, little baby scalper, little baby thinker, you go into it for the wrong reasons, right? To me, when Tesla pulls back, I look as that as an opportunity, not as a to go short Tesla. You don't short a Tesla. You look at to go buy. You look to buy. People made the most money buying Tesla. Let's look at this. Let's look at the facts, Amit. You know, let me put a weekly chart up here. You know, some clown has to. Let's talk about this. Who's making the money? Longs or the short? $29 a share in 2013. The money is going long with skill. That being said, that's who makes the real money, not the people who are short. There are that do, but for the wrong reasons. The shorts, like the billionaire Ray Dalio's being killed, smashed to pieces. Okay, he's a clown, smashed. I, I think about making money with skill for the long term, not baby short term, no skill like you. Okay, that being said, I smashed you to pieces with facts. It's a fact. Anybody would know, you know. 5 years experience, you don't know nothing about the market. You don't know about difficulty. You haven't solved problems. You haven't made any money long. If you haven't made any money long, any serious money long, then you have zero skill. Zero. Whew, like the stock count. No skill. All right then. I don't know what I do know is this, okay? I know that Tesla has, I'm gonna, give me 1 second here, people. I'm gonna come over here to do something here. Okay. I'm gonna answer you that question. But I'm not gonna, um, sorry, give me a sec here. So one of the for Tesla 735 or uh, or 697. These are possible max drop down, but I don't. I mean, the 735 is where I think you know the max, and not for long. And again, due to for whatever reasons, this is now has nothing to do with technicals now. It's just due to the fundamental fear. That's what I want people to understand. No, we don't use leaps. We use monthly options, weekly options. So you got to study my YouTube channel. You'll see how many. Most of my stuff is monthly options, and we kill it 100%. All kinds. I mean, back to back Apple plans, you name it. Mega stroke. You got to study my YouTube channel. Really, I do that for the smart, to help the smart. Like, nobody does it like me. There's no one out there that does it like me, with options. It's incredible. But I try to educate a lot of, babies. I try to help wake up some of the smart. There's a lot of bad people out there. They're just dummies, are gonna blow up anyways. They're not gonna go anywhere. They're little scalpers. They make a little bit of money, luckily here and there, and they think they have skill. You have a lot to learn, little scalper. Admit the strategy. That's why you have to be in my group. My strategy is based on what I see. It's always a changing and adapting. There is no one strategy. But my strategy is for the upside. That's my number one strategy for Tesla. It's not to look to the downside. It's to only get in to make money at the key points to the upside. That's my strategy for now. And it's going to require a lot of skill, but there's a lot of potential to make a lot of money to the upside in Tesla. Anything going down right now is only because of the unknown, the overreaction to the virus, an unknown thing, an excuse for the market to go low. It's just things that have nothing to do with technical analysis, but nothing to do with the big picture. When they look at the big picture, and I showed you the SPY, strong. Anyways, I will solve the problem. It's called skills. That's how we're gonna make money in the market. Adapting and skills. That's how we'll do it. I don't just buy a dip. There's a reason to buy it. That's not what I do. Anyways, I admit you aren't going to last long term in the market. You came into the market when things were working a little bit smoothly. Now it's difficult. You've probably missed a lot of the run. Let me ask you, Amit. Let me ask you a question. How much of the run did you catch from Tesla from 300 to 900? How much of the run did you catch with options? How many options did you? How many times did you win? Answer this. Answer the question, Amit. How many times did you win from 300 to 900? Being long Tesla. How many times with options? How many times? No, but 60%. You got to look at my YouTube channel and study my Tesla wins and see if you did anything like that. And I don't think you did. Okay, that's my point. We did some huge wins in Tesla. I mean, some huge wins in Tesla. When you say approximately 60%, how many winning trades? As again admit, it's up to you. Honestly, um, I'm not here to argue with people. I'm here to help people. I have a YouTube channel for a reason, to help educate people. I'm not here to fight with the clowns, because the clowns don't have any skill. They're listen. I destroy them. I beat them to a pulp. They're always wrong. They're gone, like the stock clown. He called the SPY a bubble at 225. He's being smashed to pieces, and he's wrong. He never says he's wrong, but he's wrong. You can't help stupid people. Yes, as I explained, we're gonna let the market tell us, right? But there's a lot of supports I've explained. Okay. Okay, Dexter, good night. Yeah, I'm gonna call this a good night. I think it was a very good live stream. We're worrying about fear. Again, there's a lot of support in the SPY. We'll take it day by day. It's an unknown. Nobody knows. What I do know is this. The SPY has a lot of key support levels, okay? There's a lot of data here. It's not coming out of thin hat. Too many things agree with what I'm saying. On top of these regular charts, okay? And the history of what these charts show. That being said, and how strong Apple was today, which was very impressive. That being said, We will let the market, we will see what the market does, and we will make adjustments based on that. That's what we do. We solve problems and we make new plans and we make money with skill. Hitting it and where it closes tomorrow are two different things. Hitting something on a after hours basis and what happens tomorrow are two different things. But the odds do favor something positive to happen anyways. It's possible it doesn't happen. You know, this is an unknown factor that's in place here. Okay? But what I'm saying is to understand the reasons of something happening, and if something does fail, and you've done it by rules and skill, that is okay. That is the message here, right? The key is to solve problems and make money from those issues and not just guess that this is going to happen and that's going to happen. That's not what we were doing. We did get reversal signals today, but they were short-lived, and again, doesn't surprise me due to the fear. That being said, people, right? Lots going to change today, but again, market favors higher prices. Key companies are doing well. You want to do, if right now people want to make it that this is the end of the world type of thing. This is how the market's reacting, or fear is causing people to react. Good night, people.